Namaskar. So, in this series, Year of a Crisis Lessons of a Lifetime, about the year 2020 of BSc IPF, uh, 7 videos are done, and this is the 8th video. We have been saying that high liquidity has translated into low cost of funds. Let's try to see what that means. Now, let's go into slight basics of fundamental analysis. So, if I have a company who has got a debt of 100 and an equity of 100, the cost of debt would be the interest which I have to pay, so that's like 7%, and the equity will be the cost of equity. If I'm a small company, then the cost of equity will be higher, let's say 22%. Why? Because I'm risky, my credit rating is not so good, my financials are not so good, so because of that the cost of equity would be 22%. Many people feel that there is no cost to equity because you don't have to pay anything. It's not like that. There's an opportunity cost. Let's say if I invest that 100 rupees in a diversified mutual fund, I would anyways get 18%. So if I'm not putting that money here and I'm putting it in my own company, then I should get at least 18%, because that's what a diversified mutual fund would give me, and in India. And there's no diversification here, so therefore not 18, I should get maybe 20. And because I am putting my effort, so I should get some return, because in mutual fund I don't have to put any effort. So here I am putting some effort also, so therefore I should get some premium of that also. So therefore I will say the cost of equity would be 22%. Now this is fine. For large cap companies, Sensex average return for long term has been 13-14%. So cost of equity for large companies would be around 13-14%. But let's say for a small company it's around 22. Now what is the cost of capital? In this particular case, because it's 100 and 100, therefore you do the weighted average. So 100 rupees at 7% and 100 rupees at 22% means 200 rupees at what? You just have to do an average here. It's a simple average because its numbers are like 100 and 100. So it comes to 14.5. Now, can I do something where so that this 14.5 comes down? Well, one thing I can do is I'll remove 0 equity and I'll make 200 debt. So if the cost is 7% for debt, then my overall cost will become 7%. Voila, done. But this doesn't make sense. We don't want a company where debt is very high. If you remember, we have seen that one of the learnings of this crisis has been that the strong have emerged stronger and the market has beaten and punished high debt companies. So yes, theoretically this is okay, but this can't be done. We have to maintain a good ratio, 100 and 100. But now because of this global liquidity coming in, what has happened is that there is people are able to take more foreign loans. And in that case, so let's say what you can do is maybe you can have debt of 150 and equity of 50. Again, that's risky, no doubt that is risky, but at least you are having some bit of equity. Another thing that can be done is, let's say both remain 100, but because there is ample liquidity available, so people will say that okay fine, because there is too much of liquidity available, I am able to take more risk. See, generally what happens is high liquidity translates into higher risk taking ability. People may feel like taking more risk because till yesterday they didn't have money, but now they have got some money. So maybe they say okay, India is a growing market and for all this is a growing company, so my cost of equity I think that the cost of equity shouldn't be 22, because 22 was okay when liquidity was not there. Today, because there is liquidity, I am ready to take slightly higher risk. And then you see that you maintain a good healthy debt to equity structure, while at the same time, because liquidity has repriced risk, if you may, and therefore the overall cost of borrowing comes slightly down, not too much, but it comes slightly down. But this is what many Indian companies are doing. So we want companies where the WACC is low and debt is also under control, global liquidity is abundant. So because of that, India is attracting those flows. So because of that, like in US and Japan, the interest rates are low, zero. Prior to the crisis, there were even negative yielding bonds which were there. In India, you have to take, let's say, at 14%, 12%, 15% if you are a smaller size company. So what companies have smartly started doing as a fallout of this crisis is, because there is cheap global liquidity available, they have resorted to external commercial borrowings, where they are borrowing from countries like US and Japan at very cheap low rates, and they are swapping those loans with the high cost loans which they have taken from Indian banks. Of course, they subject themselves to currency risk by doing so, but that can be hedged, and there can be ways of looking at it. But this is one important learning which we have seen from this crisis, is that companies have become aggressive and they are using that global liquidity to their benefit. So they are reducing their costs, interest costs, by taking advantage of the global liquidity. Any company which was having 18% WACC and 24% ROE is a good company. But now what has happened is, because they have reduced their reduced their cost of capital by doing nothing extra except just swapping high cost loans into low cost loans, and even if the ROE remains same or slightly comes down due to all this crisis and pandemic, even then their wealth creation potential increases, because the difference between cost and return has increased here. So therefore, look out for companies if you can. So we have been saying, separate diamonds from coal and buy diamonds at the price of coal. This crisis has punished high debt companies. If you can do this kind of a thing, find out what is the WACC, find out what is the average return on equity, and then find out good companies. If you can do that, well and good. Otherwise, index funds are always there. So this was the 8th session in this 10 session series. In the next session, we will talk about risk capital, how it has behaved, and the IPO mania which we have seen in November and December of 2020. That will be the 9th session of this 10 session series. Year 2020, year of a crisis, lessons of a lifetime, and mask. So thank you for watching. Another 2 videos will be coming, educative series. 1 year, some investors made a lot of money, some investors lost. The crisis is too precious to be wasted. Making money, losing money is a part of the game, but learnings have to always be there. So thank you very much for watching.